viewers and welcome back. Today I am here to talk in front of you about a very interesting topic. நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் ரொம்ப பிடிச்ச டாபிக் இது. பிடிச்சதோ இல்ல நம்ம இன்னும் கத்துக்க வேண்டியது நிறைய இருக்கு இதுல. Something which we do commonly. நம்ம day to day activityல பண்ற விஷயம் தான் இது. But sometimes when something becomes a routine, we tend to forget that there are certain things or rules we must follow. We take things for granted. For example, today I am going to talk about a very commonly done activity which is nothing else but telephone. So telephone calling. Now today we are going to look at some of the mannerisms which we need to have when we are calling people or answering phone calls, that is making a phone call or taking a phone call. Shall we look at some of the points which we need to have in our mind when we make a phone call? Let's begin as a caller. இப்போ நம்ம ஒருத்தர கால் பண்றோம்னா இப்போ the first and the foremost thing you need to do when you're calling somebody is you take the phone and you call them. We need to identify ourselves. Say good morning, I'm Savitri. Good evening, I'm Savitri calling from Trichy plus. So you need to identify yourself. நிறைய பேருக்கு ஒரு கெட்ட பழக்கம் என்னன்னா hello நான் தான் பேசுறேன். Who is that Nanda? Are you the Prime Minister of India or the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu? நான் தான் பேசுறேன். So that is a very bad mannerism or a poor telephone etiquette. People don't know you. The person who is on the other side, who is taking the phone, he may not know you. நிறைய தடவை என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா அவங்களே ஃபோன் பண்ணிட்டு they will cross question. உங்களுக்கு யார் வேணும்? என்ன நம்பர் ஃபோன் டயல் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? Should not ask these questions. You should not ask who are you and what number you want. You cannot cross. You only call them, no? You have called them and now you are asking them the question. We forget that we are calling. Now your intention may be good. See, but what happens is most of the time when we call the other person, now we are doing it without warning. இப்போ அவங்களை கேட்காம தானே நம்ம ஃபோன் பண்றோம். இப்போ அவளுக்கு தெரியாது இல்லையா நீங்க ஃபோன் பண்ண போறீங்கன்னு. So they may be in a bath, குளிச்சிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. They may be eating or they may be cooking. I have personal experience. Early morning, whenever I am cooking, I am in the kitchen. I'll be doing something, and at that moment, I'll get a call. Now I have to leave everything here and go and attend the call. Now what happens is, by the time I leave everything here and go there, and I'm getting my daughter ready to school, and so much hectic activity is happening. The person who is answering the phone, they may tend to get irritated. They are all human beings. Everybody is busy. So it's okay, but you are not doing it intentionally. But even then, you keep that in mind when the other person is answering, because they are not prepared. Okay? Usually, when you talk to the person of opposite sex, very important. Say a man is talking to a lady, or a lady is talking to a man. The first and foremost thing is you need to identify yourself. Don't create guesswork. It creates a lot of challenge with the other person who is answering the phone call. Especially, say for example, a man is calling a lady, and if it's a lady's father or a husband who picks up the phone call, then it may create other problems. So it is always good to identify yourself. And it is also a good mannerism to ask them whether they are busy or free right now to take the call. For most of us, we just call thinking that the other person has got nothing else to do but he is waiting for our call, isn't it? அவங்களுக்கு வேற வேலை இல்லை, நாங்க ஃபோன் பண்ணா அவங்க அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணணும், அப்படிதானே? They may be busy. They are busy people. Everyone is busy. They may be in the middle of some work, some meeting, some program. So it is always a good mannerism to call them, identify yourself, and ask them, "Can I talk to you for 2 minutes? Are you busy right now? Or shall I call you after some time?" கேட்கறதுல ஒன்றும் தப்பு இல்லை. Are you free for 2 minutes? Can I talk to you right now, sir? I have seen many of these people when they call, these sales people, some uninvited calls you have. They just make a call and they start telling about the product without even trying to ask whether the person whom they are talking to is busy, he's in the middle of meeting, he may not be in a position right now to attend the call. Isn't it? So it's always good to ask them. and it is a very good mannerism to say thank you, please. Practice பண்ணுங்க, ஒன்றும் தப்பு இல்லை. There is nothing wrong in saying hello, thank you, please. You need to practice whenever you are attending phone call. The other person, the person on the other side, they are very happy to hear these words. Next thing, when we are speaking over the phone, do we speak clearly? Half the time, when I attend the phone call and on the other side the TV on இருக்கும், music play ஆயிட்டு இருக்கும், பின்னாடி 4 பேர் பேசிட்டு இருப்பாங்க, or ஏதோ சாப்பிட்டுட்டே பேசுவாங்க. So all this irritates the caller. The person who is calling or even the person who is answering, it is irritating because clear கேட்காது, என்ன பேசுறாங்கன்னு கேட்கல. சில பேர் அதை விட ஜாஸ்தி, they will take the phone, they will put it on hold and இன்னொருத்தரோட பேசிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. How irritating it is? The other person really feels bad. Why should I wait? His time is also important. So these are certain etiquette which we need to follow when we are speaking to somebody over the phone. Another very important thing is calling during unsocial hours. I was again talking to you previously. The people who are in sales and marketing, who are doing this uninvited calling, they call during the unsocial hours. Anytime they will call. Sometimes I get a call at 11 o'clock in the night. Early morning 6 o'clock they wake me up from my sleep. You just cannot intrude in somebody's privacy, isn't it? Just because you have something urgent, that does not mean that person is also in that same position. See, yesterday I was getting a call from somebody, some company saying that I need to talk to you urgently, and they were making calls at 10 o'clock in the night. I am a family person, I am sitting with my family, there is a personal life. We just cannot intrude in people's personal life, isn't it? So social awareness something is there. So morning you need to maintain that 9 a.m. to night 9 p.m. And the duration நீங்க கூப்பிட்டீங்கன்னா, it is very easy for people to take the phone call. Nobody will be disturbed. But before 9 a.m. and after 9 p.m. you should not avoid calling unless you know the person very well. உங்க ரொம்ப close friend அவரு, and you know his habits. உங்களுக்கு அவர் habits எல்லாம் நல்லா தெரியும், close-ஆ பழகிருக்கீங்க, so you know. Unless it is like that, please avoid calling during unsocial hours. Another point let me cover here is when you are making your phone calls elsewhere. See, இப்போ சில பேர் யாராவது வராங்க and they want to make a call, or நீங்க ஒரு இடத்துக்கு போறீங்க, you want to make a urgent phone call. Make the phone call, but always pay for it. Unless it is a very very close friend of yours, உங்க ரொம்ப close friend, அவங்க insist பண்றாங்க, இல்ல எனக்கு பணம் வேண்டாம். In that case, it is always good to make short calls. கம்மியா பேசுறது, சீக்கிரமா முடிச்சுக்கிறது. சில பேர் இதான் சாக்குன்னு they will make long distance calls, which is absolutely bad manners, isn't it? The other person will not say, but they feel bad because they know that we are taking advantage. So whenever you make call elsewhere, you are making call at somebody else's place, always offer to pay. Now phone பண்ணிருக்கேன், here 2 rupees, 3 rupees, 5 rupees, whatever, let us pay it. Okay, let us maintain the relationship, because these are some small things which the other person will never say, but it will create kind of a barrier in the relationship. Another thing is, very important thing is, I have noticed everywhere whenever I go for a movie, or I am sitting in a seminar, or when I am taking classes, people are so busy attending to whatever calls comes to them. Please remember, whenever you are sitting in a public place where you have people around you and they are focusing on something else, you are taking a phone call, you need to be very very careful. இப்போ தியேட்டர்ல உட்கார்ந்து நம்ம படம் பார்த்துட்டு இருப்போம், பின்னாடி ஒருத்தர் ஃபோன் அடிக்கும், ஹலோ எப்படி இருக்கீங்கன்னு, they will be talking loudly. Everybody else will get disturbed, but they will never tell. So we should realize in that moment that we should speak softly or go out and talk. That's the best thing. If you are in a lecture, in a classroom, in a seminar, don't take the phone call. Because the person who is giving the seminar or who is giving the lecture, they feel insulted. It is bad manners. நான் கொடுக்கிற லெக்சரை விட உங்களுக்கு அந்த phone call தான் இம்பார்ட்டண்டா? That is the kind of feeling they get. So these are some very small things, basic things which we have to talk about. இதுதான் soft skills, வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை. This is what we call as soft skills. Soft skills is a basic mannerism. So telephone soft skills, இதுதான் telephone soft skills. So whenever you are answering phone calls outside in a social atmosphere, you please be aware of people who are around you so that they don't get disturbed. Okay? Another thing is when you are answering the phone calls, நிறைய தடவை நமக்கு வந்து untimed phone call வரலாம். We may be busy, we may not be in a position to answer, or you may be really involved in some matter and you get a phone. So in that time, அந்த டைம்ல உங்களுக்கு ஒரு phone வந்துச்சுன்னா, it's okay, you can talk politely. Polite பேசுங்க. Because the other person does not know that you are busy, isn't it? So அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாம phone பண்ணிட்டாங்க. In case யாருக்கு phone வந்திருக்கு அவங்க இல்ல, நீங்க அட்டெண்ட் பண்ற பட்சத்துல write down the message. Never assume that you will remember the message in your mind. Because they say no, a drop of ink is always better than the best of memory. So it is always good to make a note of the message, then only you will be able to give the correct message to the person whom the phone was for. Okay, and if whenever you are calling, you tell them hello, speak to them nicely. Sometimes, as I was talking to you about the unsolicited calls, தேவையில்லாத சில calls தான் வரும். அந்த டைம்ல you just be very blunt. You tell them clearly you are not interested, not to disturb you. Sometimes we feel very bad, அவங்க எங்கயா தப்பா நினைச்சுப்பாங்க, நம்ம அப்படி சொன்னா அவங்க என்ன நினைப்பாங்க. So you need not think about that, because they are calling you without asking your permission. It's an uninvited call. So you can tell them in a very nice tone that I am not interested, sorry, and you can keep the phone. So there is nothing wrong in that. So whenever you are making telephone calls, you need to be very, very careful, and you need to follow some mannerisms. Using an answering machine is also a very good tool in case you are not available. இப்போ நிறைய பேர் இப்போ நமக்கு அந்த கஷ்டம் இன்னும் வரல. If you take இப்போ வெளிநாட்டுல எல்லாம் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா, even in cities now they have started using answering machine. Answering machine என்ன, இப்போ நம்ம இல்ல, so in case a phone call comes, அதை வந்து நம்ம ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கலாம். நம்ம வெளியில இருந்து வீட்டுக்கு வந்த பிறகு we can put on the recorder, we can rewind, and we can listen to all the calls. So whenever you are using an answering machine, record some nice message and make it short and simple. Again, when you are calling somebody and the answering machine, there is a reply through the answering machine, don't say it's me. Tell your name, tell your company's name, be very specific. So when you are using the answering machine, you need to be very, very clear, short and simple, and leave the right message. So I am sure you would have got lots of points on telephone mannerisms, and you can utilize all these mannerisms and make your telephone calls to the fullest, make the best use of that instrument you have with you for communication. So let me leave you with these nice thoughts, and you can telephone or call people with passion.